Hi everybody. As promised, here's the scoop on yours truly. I was born and raised in 1957 in Windsor, Connecticut. I live in Los Angeles, California now, but I am an East Coast girl. In 1978, at the age of 21, I married, and 4 years later I had my first child, Justin. But in 1987, 9 years after I got married, my life came to a screeching halt. That year, I went through a very painful and humiliating divorce. Because of the pain I endured relative to the divorce and the way that it came about, I became suicidal. Life was hard enough, but I instantly became a single parent, which didn't make life any easier. While I was working through the divorce, I was reading a lot of self-help books and also seeing a therapist twice a week. As it happened, I stumbled upon a film called Out on a Limb, which starred the legend that is called Shirley MacLaine. This film exposed me to many spiritual concepts for the first time. And I remember Shirley MacLaine took a lot of heat because the film was really about her life. But in reality, Shirley was way ahead of her time and a true catalyst for planetary spiritual transformation. One of the concepts that I witnessed for the first time is a process called channeling. I was fascinated by this process. I spoke to a friend of mine about this film and this process, and she replied with, "Oh, I know somebody right here in Connecticut that does this sort of thing." I was so excited to witness this in real life. To make a long story short, I became an avid student of this medium called Lynn, who channeled this entity called Dharma. Over the next few years, I became very close to the medium, Lynn. Lynn trusted me implicitly, and for that reason, she asked me to become her assistant. Now, I wasn't an administrative assistant of sorts. I simply sat in on every single channeling session that she booked. I will explain why Lynn needed someone there, present at the time, in my next video when I talk about Dharma. Because I was Lynn's assistant, not only did I learn through my own questions and answers with Dharma, but listening to so many other people ask their questions and receive their answers, it was like I took a crash course in spirituality. Lynn was a pastor of a small, non-denominational, non-dogmatic church. It was she who ordained me as a minister back on November 21st, 2000, and also certified me as a pastoral counselor. At that time, we were dealing with the aftermath of 9/11, and my ordination was a way for me to begin to teach and help others on a spiritual level. In addition, several years later, I obtained an undergraduate degree from the University of Massachusetts Amherst in the area of spiritual psychology. Now, what does a spiritual degree in psychology really mean? Well, it's a degree where I had to meet all of the same requirements for a traditional psychology degree. But all of my electives were based on religion, philosophy, theology, and spirituality. In addition, UMass also certified me as a pastoral counselor. So, out of all of that pain came a spiritual awakening and a lifelong journey to study, grow, and evolve as a human being as well as a spiritual being. But I'm still on earth, which means I still have learning to do. More on that later. As I stated yesterday, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me and I'll do my best to respond in a timely manner. Tune in to episode 3 tomorrow to learn more about the entity we called Dharma. And again, if you don't want to miss a video, please subscribe. And if you don't understand what this video is about, go back and watch episode 1. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, be blessed and be safe. Namaste.